Let's talk about something that hits pretty much all of us, right where it hurts, the wallet. I'm talking about the crazy price of gas. But what if I told you there's a really simple, proven trick from one of the biggest names in the car world that could actually save you a good chunk of change? Stick around because we're going to dive right in. You know the feeling, right? You fill up the tank, you feel good about it, and then poof, a few days later, that little light is blinking at you again. It feels like this constant dream. But here's the good news. A couple of tiny tweaks to your routine can make a huge, huge difference. So, where is this amazing advice even coming from? Well, this isn't just some random tip I found online. Nope. This is a strategy backed by decades of know-how from a country that is, let's be honest, legendary for its cars and engineering. We are talking about the German Automobile Club. These guys are based in Munich, and they are, without a doubt, one of the most respected car organizations on the entire planet. They look at everything from car safety to road trips, and, luckily for us, how to get the most out of every single drop of fuel. And get this, the club has 19 million members. Seriously, let that sink in. That's a massive community of drivers, all sharing data, sharing experiences. So when they give advice, you better believe it's built on a mountain of real-world evidence. So the core of their big secret? It all boils down to two incredibly simple rules that anyone can start using today. It's all about mastering the where you fill up and the when. First up, let's talk about something I call the highway trap. The advice from the experts is crystal clear. Whenever you possibly can, avoid buying gas at stations that are right on the highway or expressway. That convenience, it's costing you more than you think. And this chart shows you exactly why. It's just basic economics, really. When you're on a highway, there aren't many gas stations around, right? So there's very little competition. And demand is super high from all the travelers. That means they can crank up the prices. But in a city or a town, you've got stations on every other corner fighting for your business, and that competition naturally pushes prices down. So here's your new game plan. Before you head out on any long trip, just fill up your tank locally. And if you absolutely have to get gas while you're on the road, just take the next exit. Drive a minute or two into the nearest town. I'm telling you, that tiny little detour can literally save you a bunch of money. Okay, so that's the where. Now for the second rule, which is just as important. It's not just about where you buy gas, but when you buy it. The German Automobile Club's data shows that the absolute best time of day to fill up your tank is in the afternoon or evening. And this isn't just a guess. Other experts totally back this up with science. Take this quote from the Secretariat of the Environment of Mexico City. They point out that filling up around 6 p.m. when it's starting to cool down means less of your fuel literally evaporates into thin air while you're pumping it. You're getting more of what you paid for right into your tank. It's just smarter. All right, we've nailed down refueling, but the savings don't stop there. The German experts also pointed out that the way you actually drive and take care of your car can make the difference between sipping fuel and absolutely guzzling it. Let's talk about the sweet spot for your speed. You know, data from automakers like Volkswagen shows that the most fuel-efficient speed is a nice, steady pace somewhere between 50 and 70 kilometers per hour. That's about 30 to 45 miles per hour. Slamming on the gas and hitting the brakes all the time, or driving super fast, that just burns through gas like crazy. And finally, here's a tip that is so easy to forget, but it has a huge impact. Your tires. Just think about it for a second. If your tires are underinflated, they create more friction, more drag on the road. That means your engine has to work way harder and burn more gas just to keep you moving. A quick check of your tire pressure is maybe one of the easiest ways to save money, period. Okay, we have covered a lot of really great stuff here. So let's pull all this expert advice together into one simple plan that you can start using, well, right now. Here it is, your 4-step plan to save at the pump. Number 1, refuel smart. Get your gas in town, not on the highway. Number 2, time it right. Fill her up in the cool of the evening. Number 3, drive smoothly. Try to stay in that efficiency sweet spot. And number 4, check your tires. Make sure they've got the right pressure. Each of these steps seems small, but trust me, when you put them all together, the savings really start to add up. And you know, that brings us to one last thought. Getting these little habits down doesn't just save you money on gas. It kind of builds this whole mindset of being more efficient. So it makes you wonder, right? If these tiny adjustments can make such a big difference in your fuel budget, what other small, smart changes could you make that might just transform other parts of your life?